Picture this. You've been grinding, cutting back on takeout, skipping the weekend trips, maybe picking up an extra shift or two, and slowly, quietly, you've managed to stack $500. Not borrowed money, not lucky money, your money. And you're staring at it thinking, okay, this is real now. I actually want to do something smart with this. So you do what everyone does. You go online. And within about 4 minutes, you've seen someone in a Lamborghini telling you to buy a coin you've never heard of. A finance influencer showing you a chart that looks like a rocket ship. A Reddit thread where someone turned $500 into $47,000 in 3 weeks. And now you feel simultaneously excited and completely paralyzed because you don't want to be the person who loses their $500 chasing someone else's highlight reel. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. $500 will not make you rich overnight, but $500 invested the right way with the right habits attached to it can genuinely be the foundation of $1 million portfolio, not because of some secret strategy, not because you picked the right stock at the right time, but because of something far less exciting and far more powerful: time, consistency, and compound growth. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to invest your first $500 the smart way, a real plan, not a fantasy. If you're someone who has money to invest and you refuse to waste it on noise, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Let's build something real. Most beginner investing content talks about starting with $100, and that's fine, but $500 changes the conversation. At $100, your options are limited and the psychological stakes are low enough that a mistake barely stings. At $500, you're starting to feel it. Lose $500 on a bad trade and that's a week of work, maybe two. That pain can either scare you out of investing entirely or teach you the most valuable lesson early. The goal is not to win fast. The goal is to not lose, stay in the game, and let time do the heavy lifting. There's also a practical shift at $500. You have enough to actually diversify across multiple account types. You have enough to start understanding the mechanics of how real portfolios work. You're not just dipping a toe in, you're actually swimming. But here's what doesn't change from 100 to 500 to $50,000: the psychology. The same emotional traps that destroy beginners with $100 will destroy them with 500, 5,000, or 500,000. Fear, greed, impatience. The feeling that you're missing out on something. These never go away. You just get better at managing them. And the best time to start building that skill is right now, with your first $500. Before you invest a single dollar of that $500, I need you to answer one question honestly. If something unexpected happened in the next 3 months, would you need this money back? This isn't a trick question. It's the most important filter in personal finance. Because investing money you might need is not investing. It's gambling with extra steps. The stock market can drop 20%, 30%, even 50% in a downturn. That's not a worst case scenario. That's just market history. If you're forced to sell during one of those drops because you need the cash, you've locked in a real loss. And that loss doesn't just hurt your account. It damages your relationship with investing in a way that can take years to recover from. So before we talk about where to put your $500, let's talk about whether investing is actually the right move right now. And for that, I want to introduce a framework I call the 4-pillar check. Think of your financial life as a building. Investing is the roof, but if the foundation is cracked, putting a roof on doesn't help. The 4 pillars are what hold everything up. Pillar 1, emergency buffer. Do you have at least 1 to 2 months of essential expenses saved somewhere accessible? Not invested, saved. In a high-yield savings account where you can reach it within a day or two. If the answer is no, your first $500 might need to go here. I know that's not what you want to hear. But a $500 emergency fund that you can access instantly is more valuable than $500 in an index fund that you might be forced to sell at the worst possible moment. Pillar 2, high interest debt. Are you carrying credit card debt above 15% interest? If yes, paying that down is mathematically the best investment you can make. A guaranteed 20% or 25% return, because that's what you're effectively earning by eliminating high interest debt, beats anything the stock market can reliably offer. You can't outinvest a 25% interest rate. It is not possible over time. Pillar 3, income stability. Is your income reasonably stable for the next 6 months? Not guaranteed, nothing ever is, but reasonably stable. If you're in a genuinely uncertain situation, your $500 might serve you better as a financial cushion than as an investment. There is no shame in that. Survival is a strategy. Pillar 4, time horizon. Can you genuinely leave this money alone for at least 3 to 5 years, ideally longer? Investing is not a short-term tool. The magic of compound growth only shows up when you give it time. If you think you might need this money in 18 months, that timeline is too short for equity investing. If you've checked all four pillars and you're in a stable place, great, now we invest. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do it. Here's how I think about allocating your first $500. And I want to be direct, this is not complicated. The complexity is a myth that the financial industry profits from. Simple works, simple compounds, simple wins. Allocation 1, tax advantage account first. In most countries, the government gives you a legal way to grow your investments without paying taxes on the gains, or at least deferring them for decades. In the US, this is the Roth IRA or a traditional IRA. In the UK, it's the Stocks and Shares ISA. In Canada, the TFSA. In many European countries, similar accounts exist under different names. If you have a Roth IRA available and your income qualifies, this is where the bulk of your $500 should go. Here's why. Every dollar of growth inside a Roth IRA is completely tax-free when you withdraw it in retirement. You pay taxes on the money before it goes in, and then the government never touches it again. On a long-term investment, that is an extraordinary advantage that most people wildly underestimate. Let's make it concrete. If you invest $500 into a Roth IRA at age 25 and it grows at 7% annually for 40 years, that $500 becomes roughly $7,480, and every dollar of that 7,080 is yours. The IRS doesn't touch it. No capital gains tax, no income tax, just yours. Compare that to a taxable account where you owe taxes on every gain you realize, and the difference over a lifetime is significant. The contribution limits for a Roth IRA in 2024 are $7,000 per year for people under 50. Your $500 fits easily. Open the account, fund it, and move to the next step. Allocation 2. What to actually buy inside that account. This is where most beginners overcomplicate things. They want to pick stocks. They want to find the next big winner. They want to feel like they're doing something smart and active. Here's what's actually smart. Buy one fund. A single broad, low-cost index fund. That's it. Your three best options as a beginner are a total market index fund, which gives you exposure to essentially the entire US stock market, thousands of companies across every sector in a single purchase. An S&P 500 index fund, which tracks the 500 largest US companies. This is where most of the wealth in the US stock market lies. A target date index fund, which is a pre-built, automatically rebalancing portfolio that adjusts its risk level based on when you plan to retire. You pick your target retirement year, and the fund does the rest. It gets more conservative as you get older. Why index funds? Because the data is overwhelmingly clear. Research consistently shows that over long periods, the vast majority of actively managed funds underperform simple index funds after fees. These are professional fund managers with teams of analysts, Bloomberg terminals, and decades of experience. And most of them still lose to the index. A beginner with $500 and a hot stock tip is not going to do better. The math simply doesn't work that way. What about international exposure? Once you have more to invest, adding a small allocation to an international index fund makes sense for diversification. But with $500, simplicity wins. One fund, one account. Keep it clean. I want to spend a moment on fees because this is one of the most important conversations in investing, and almost nobody pays attention to it until it's too late. Two funds can track the same index. One charges 0.03% per year in fees. The other charges 1.0% per year. At first glance, that difference feels meaningless. 1%. Who cares about 1%? Here's who cares. Future you. Because that fee compounds against you every single year, just like returns compound for you. Over a 30-year period, that seemingly tiny difference in fees can reduce your final portfolio value by more than 25%. On a $100,000 portfolio, that's $25,000 gone, silently, without you ever noticing a single transaction. When you're choosing funds, look for the expense ratio. For a total market or S&P 500 index fund from providers like Vanguard, Fidelity, or Schwab, you should be paying somewhere between 0.015% and 0.10% per year. Anything above 0.5% should give you pause. Anything above 1% is almost certainly not worth it. Fidelity even offers zero expense ratio index funds. Zero. The fee argument for active management has never been weaker than it is right now. There is no reason to overpay. I want to say something that might reframe this entire video for you. Your first $500 matters, but it's not what's going to make you wealthy. What's going to make you wealthy is what you do after the first $500. The habit you build, the system you create, the automatic, boring, consistent behavior of putting money into a low-cost index fund every single month, whether the market is up or down, whether you feel like it or not, whether the news is terrifying or euphoric. Let me give you some numbers to put this in perspective. If you invest $500 once at age 25 and never add another dollar, At 7% average annual growth, by age 65, you'd have roughly $7,480. That's real money, but it's not life-changing. Now watch what happens when you add a habit. If you invest $500 today and then automatically invest just $100 per month for 40 years at the same 7% return, you end up with approximately $263,000. Push that monthly contribution to $200 and you're looking at roughly $515,000. Get to $400 per month and you cross the $1 million threshold. At 7% growth over 40 years, $400 per month becomes approximately $1,050,000. Not because you were a genius, not because you picked the right stock, but because you were consistent. You showed up every month, you let time and compound growth do what they do. That's the boring path to $1 million. And it actually works. The tool that makes this possible is automation. Set up an automatic monthly transfer from your checking account to your investment account. Pick a date, pick an amount, start small if you have to. Even $50 per month matters more than you think. Then increase it when you can. Give yourself a raise every time your income goes up. Your lifestyle doesn't need to inflate every time your paycheck does. You now have the plan. It's simple, it's proven, and your brain is going to fight it every step of the way. So let me prepare you for what's coming. Trap 1, the excitement problem. Index funds are boring. Staring at a slow-moving chart of the total market does not give you a dopamine hit. But opening a trading app and buying a volatile penny stock, that's a rush. That feeling of action, of doing something, of being in the game is intoxicating. And it's exactly what destroys portfolios. Research from Dalbar consistently shows that the average investor significantly underperforms the index they're invested in, not because of bad funds, because of bad behavior. They buy when the market is exciting and sell when it's scary. That pattern, repeated over years, is wealth destroying. Boring is the strategy, boring is the edge. Trap 2, the FOMO spiral. Someone in your life or on your phone is going to tell you about a trade they made that doubled their money. They will not tell you about the 5 trades before that one that didn't work. Survivorship bias is real. The people who blow up their accounts don't post about it. You only hear the wins. And those wins will make your steady, boring index fund feel like you're doing it wrong. You're not. You are doing it exactly right. Stay the course. Trap 3, panic selling. The market will drop, not might drop, will drop. In any given decade, you can expect at least one significant correction of 20% or more, and possibly a crash that's even deeper. When that happens, and you watch your $500 become $350, every instinct in your body will tell you to sell, to stop the bleeding, to protect what's left. Resist this with everything you have. Market drops are not disasters for long-term investors. They are discounts. When you're in the accumulation phase, a market drop means your monthly contribution buys more shares at a lower price. That's a good thing. Stay invested. Stay consistent. The market has recovered from every single downturn in its history. Everyone. Trap 4. Waiting for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. There never has been. Every single year for the last century has had a reason not to invest. Wars, recessions, political instability, pandemics, interest rate changes, inflation. Every year, someone had a convincing argument for why now was the wrong time to get in. And every year, the people who ignored that argument and invested anyway came out ahead of the people who waited. Time in the market beats timing the market. This is one of the most well-supported findings in all of finance. The best time to invest was yesterday. The second best time is today. Let me give you the complete action plan in plain language. Check your 4 pillars first: emergency buffer, high interest debt, income stability, time horizon. If any of those need attention, address them first. If you're clear on all 4, proceed. Open a tax-advantaged account. In the US, a Roth IRA if your income qualifies. Use a low-fee platform like Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab. Most of these have no minimum to open an account. Invest your $500 in one broad low-cost index fund, a total market index fund, an S&P 500 index fund, or a target date fund. Expense ratio under 0.10%. Done. Set up an automatic monthly contribution. Any amount. $50, $100. Whatever your budget genuinely allows. Set it and let it run. Treat it like a bill you pay yourself first. Do not touch it. Do not check it obsessively. Do not sell when it drops. Do not chase the next hot thing. Let compound growth do its job over years and decades. Increase your contributions whenever you can. A raise, a side income, a bonus. Before lifestyle inflation gets that money, direct a portion of it toward your future self. Here's the thing about the boring path to $1 million. Most people never take it. Not because they can't, but because it doesn't feel like enough. It doesn't feel exciting. It doesn't make for a good story at dinner. There's no highlight reel moment. Just quiet, steady, invisible progress that one day, years from now, becomes something remarkable. The people who build real wealth aren't the ones who found the magic stock. They're the ones who built the system, trusted the process, and showed up consistently when everyone else was distracted by the noise. Your $500 is not the end of this story. It's the first sentence. What happens next depends entirely on what you do after you close this video. So here's your challenge. In the next 24 hours, do one thing. Just one. Check whether you have your 4 pillars covered. Open the account if you haven't. Transfer the $500. Or set up the automatic contribution, even if it's just $50 a month. Because here's what nobody tells you about the boring path to $1 million. The boring part doesn't last forever. One day you'll look up and realize the number in that account is bigger than you ever thought possible, and you'll understand something deeply and completely that you could only understand by living it. The money changed, but so did you. Hit subscribe, give this a thumbs up, and drop a comment below that says I'm starting with my first $500. I want to see you actually do it, not just think about it.